It's peak fall color in Colorado, and things can't get much more beautiful. I'm fishing a crystal clear creek for multiple species of trout, and I'll land many. But one in particular stands out as my favorite fish of the entire year. And I think when you see it too, you'll understand why. Welcome back to another Flicky Flies film. After setting up camp, I made my way down to the creek. I was only a couple hundred feet from it, which was nice. It's midday, the water is clear and relatively low, and I knew the fish would be spooky, if they were even there at all. Sometimes the clearest water has the least fish, in my experience anyway. It's day one of a 4-day trip, and all we can do for now is give it a shot. I do believe that was a fish. I was starting to think this place was completely sterile, but I'm pretty sure that was a solid bite there. There we go. There we go. Hope is not lost. Yeah, I was definitely thinking, just because this place is so clear, that perhaps there wasn't going to be any fish to be found in here, but here we go at the base of this beautiful little waterfall. Our first trout of this day on this beautiful creek here. And it looks like we got ourselves a little brown. This fish was so beautiful. I especially loved the orange in the tail, enhanced by the autumn reflections all around, no doubt. What a combo. Another fish. Right below the waterfall yet again. My God, what a cool place. What a cool place to be catching some beautiful fish. This is perfection to me. Beautiful fish in a beautiful place. Not a bad sized brown for this tiny little creek. All right. When you're already unknowingly recording and then press the record button right when you think you're ready to record the release, what happens? You'll have to trust me, he was decent. Maybe 12 inches or so, but not nearly as colorful as that first brown. The rocks here are the slipperiest I've ever encountered. Yes, ever. They're as slick as ice, maybe slicker. Even my Croc Bistros were no match, and they're the grippiest shoe I've ever used. By the way, if you haven't tried the Bistro model specifically, don't come at me in the comments. So I mentioned earlier that it was peak fall color, but it's actually even better than that. I talked to a few locals and the sentiment I was hearing was that this was the best color they'd seen in decades. I love fishing in the most beautiful places I can find, and this was certainly scratching that itch. Alright, let's get back to the water. These small falls were really cool, but a bit hard to fish, even with a single nymph on a tight line. There were so many places for trout to hide down deep that I'm pretty positive my fly wasn't touching. I'm using a single Waltz worm, by the way, one of my all-time favorites. This next section of stream was not nearly as deep, and with the clear water I was contending with would prove to be quite challenging. If I wasn't stealthy enough, I definitely wouldn't be catching any fish. At least I had these massive mountains as a backdrop, though. I fished each new hole quickly, hoping to either catch a fish or at the very least, spook a fish. At this point, I was kind of just looking for confirmation that fish were above that set of waterfalls and that they might be found in more unassuming holes if that waterfall ended up being the best hole depth-wise. Bear with me on this one. So, we all have confidence flies, right? Well, that's kind of what I was looking for, metaphorically speaking. I wanted to have more confidence in the water I was fishing.
Just spooked a brown. So far, the only signs of life up until that second had been in that one really perfect waterfall hole. This hole is relatively unassuming. You know, you would certainly think it would hold trout, but that's the first kind of confirmation of a little more lackluster hole actually having some fish in it. So that's a good sign. It means I'm not wasting my time fishing, you know, other stuff besides just the big plunge pools. But as long as we can find a few here and there, I am satisfied. All right, first cast in. Oh, popped off. You know, that actually looked like a brook trout to me. It was quite small, kind of silvery. I really didn't know what to expect in here, but that's kind of what I suspected. I was surprised to see those browns earlier.
Without being completely sure of the species I had hooked, I made a few more casts into the pool, but couldn't get another bite. I moved up, and the next spot was shaping up to be the best of the day. It was the deepest, at least, that's for sure.
Okay, I think we're gonna find a fish here. This is probably the troutiest hole we've seen yet. Nice and deep. These logs crossing here for some good cover. This looks very, very nice. Very nice.
But you already know how this goes. The deepest pools often just don't work out the way we think they will. At least that's what happens to me. I don't know about you guys. Still, I was shocked that this hole produced no bites. Let's check the underwater camera. This perspective really shows just how clear this water was. It's rare that a GoPro can see this far. There's always way more stuff suspended in the current than you'd think. You can also see just how many branches were lying at the bottom. I'm surprised but glad that I didn't get snagged. And at the very front of the pool, right in the center of the frame right now, you can see what looks like 2 brown trout chilling right along the bottom. What's up, bros? Why no bite? Oh well, on we go.
Having used up all of my stick karma, I was hit hard at the next couple spots, but once I paid my dues, I was in for a serious treat.
Pretty sizable stick fish here. Can't believe I got that one back.
This is it, the fish you've been waiting for, and it turns out the one that I was too. But don't leave just yet, there's still some incredible sights and fish to come. All right, let's catch this thing.
There's a fish. Looks like a colored up brook trout, perhaps? Ooh, fighting really well. Oh yeah, beautiful brook trout, nice size too. Look at this hole too, guys. This is insane. Those mountains in the background, this crystal clear water, aspens just popping off. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, this is such a cool catch. My God, look at that brook trout. Heck yeah.
I don't care who you are or how you like to fish. If you aren't excited about a trout that looks like that, I just can't relate. This little beast of a male brook trout is a true masterpiece. If you love watching my films and would be able to support me in exchange for some great benefits, consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube channel member. Sign up at patreon.com/flickyflies or click the join button below the video. Some possible perks include watching my videos ad-free, behind-the-scenes content, and special access to exclusive creator commentary videos, where I dive deep into my fishing techniques, the video making process, and much more. This passion of mine doesn't make me rich, but with the support of people like you, I'm able to keep doing what I love, filming these adventures and sharing them with all of you guys. These memberships, by far, are the best way to support me. More info in the description below the video. Thanks so much for the consideration. The next few holes hadn't amounted to anything, but I did make a new friend. The friendship didn't really last all that long, though. The sun is starting to set a bit earlier this time of year, and in this mountain valley, even more so. I hadn't caught a fish in a little bit, but I was loving the reflected light on the now shaded water's surface and the play between light and shadow among the trees and mountain slopes.
Woo! Little guy, little brook trout. That's all right, with the waning sun, I'll take whatever I can get. He is certainly a little guy, that's for sure.
Looks like our little man has a lot of learning to do. No wonder he bit my fly without a second thought. Good luck out there, bud.
Ooh, another little guy. Still looking for a bigger one tonight, but pretty cool to keep catching these fish in this beautiful place, beautiful canyon light.
There we go. Slightly bigger brookie. I'm just glad to be catching some fish.
This dink train kept on rolling, but I wasn't worried. I had already caught some nicer fish, and I was pretty sure I'd find some more in the waning light. And besides, as I'm sure many of you know, a lot of my enjoyment from a day of fishing stems from being in awesome places. And really, it doesn't get more awesome than this. I mean, look at this. It's insane.
I just saw a little rise there. First one all day. Let's see if we can catch this fish. Good. There he is. Yeah, I saw the fish. My fly made a pretty good presentation past him, but he scooted on off. This water is so clear, so easy to spook these fish, especially if the pool's a little slower, kind of like this one. Maybe up at the head here, this more rapid water will conceal us. There was a little bite right there, though. I feel good. There we go. Oh, popped off. Another small fish. Really looking for another brook trout that's similar in size and color and everything to that wonderful male that I caught earlier. I don't know if it's going to happen tonight, but we're going to keep trying. There we go. Maybe a little bit nicer. Oh yeah. I'd say this firmly into the medium category. Definitely bigger than the little dinks we were catching. And he's got some good colors too. Yeah, that's a nice fish.
I fished a few more holes, caught a couple more dinks, and started making my way back to camp. The fish caught today were not huge, but one of them was just about the prettiest I've ever caught, and that's more than enough for me. If you'd like to see the next 3 days of this adventure, consider subscribing to my channel to see all of my future videos. Leave a comment if you have any questions or would like to share your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.